Previously on Project Greenlight.
Filmmaking is basically the only thing that I know how to do. Just been raised in a film environment my whole life. My dad and I have started several feature films, but never finished any of them.
It's the first day. Basically, everything's been leading to this day. Is this script even possible to pull off in 25 days? I would be the last person to tell you what's possible. I'm the person that hasn't done it before.
Don't f it up.
I've never experienced anything like this. It's cut, moving on, and then
Nobody knows what we're moving on.
we're moving on. John is shooting in such a way that we don't even know what shots we're missing.
I always feel like I'm having to prove myself to everyone. Every suggestion is second guessed, and it's like, hey, you guys, I'm still back here.
3 directors, that's fine. Just do it, whatever you want to do.
I'm not into this to have everyone else direct the movie. I'm in it to be the director myself.
How's your day 14, John?
It's
People on that set right now, they have no idea what we're making.
Can I have your attention for 1 second? There's a little bit of footage we'd like y'all to take a look at. Michael and I had gotten together and decided it'd be a good idea to maybe show the crew some of what we've been working so hard to do.
I think that watching the movie last night really made everybody excited about what they were working on.
Is starting to just really work together pretty well as a team.
Cut.
John was coming into his own and feeling a little more comfortable vocalizing.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Balthazar. Thank you.
I think it was a little easier going.
We're starting to see that John's having some difficulty communicating his vision to the actors as well.
Did we change the bra or anything? There was an outline of something, like the nipples a little.
There's a lot of projects at Dimension Miramax that are being sold.
Chris Moore came by to tell us that there's a divorce pending between Miramax and Disney.
Okay, guys, that's a cut. That's a production wrap on Feast, everybody.
So apparently, I've just finished my first film.
Here we started with a script that nobody really seemed to want to make, a director that nobody seemed to believe in, a film that we didn't think we could do for the budget, and I think it came out well. And that's all John Gulager.
I'm hoping it all comes together in the editing of the film.
Stick with us. We're not done yet.
Project Greenlight is an internet contest. We pick a script, we pick a director, we let somebody get a chance to make their movie. This time we want to make a horror movie. Feast is a very scary movie.
It's Evil Dead meets Diner.
This year we have a fantastic director, John Gulager. It's been over 35 years getting here. Hopefully he's going to pay off.
Now it's up to Marcus, Patrick, and John to make a terrific movie.
Finished shooting Feast, and now we're in post-production, which is where we start editing the film.
Do I still have an office?
Oh, look! The empty room.
The editing of a movie is really as creative as the shooting of the movie. So now is an opportunity for the editor, Kirk Morey, and John to spend time working on the movie together.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Good, how you doing?
I made it through production.
Kirk Morey has been doing an assembly of the film, but now it's time for John to get in the room with him and lock the door, and for them together now to bang out John's vision.
I kind of wish we'd gotten the one shot of the whole contraption with the barrels and stuff like that, you know, just like a shot from behind, you know, to actually show it. Ta-da, you know.
This is the time in the movie where the producers leave the director alone. As the director of the film, John has every right now to sit with the editor and formulate his movie, his vision for this project.
So, when are we supposed to have this thing done?
Typically, on these sorts of movies, a director's cut happens in about 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know that you're going to have that long in this case because everything is truncated. They're going to be clamoring over there to see it. Andrew's already mentioned that he wants to see it now, which is kind of scary. It's not even assembled yet.
The way that Dimension works is that Bob Weinstein is in charge, but he has a couple key executives that he very heavily relies on. One of those is Andrew Rona. Andrew Rona is the executive that Bob Weinstein has entrusted Feast to.
You know, typically Bob walks in and says, I want to see it now. And when he does, we can either say no and do it anyway or say yes and do it. Because, I mean, you know, it's his money and his game, and we don't have much sway over that. The trick for us is going to be keeping Dimension at bay until we really get a cut that represents what the movie is, because you can only have a first impression once. Usually we can put him off for a week or two, but beyond that it gets pretty ferocious. You've heard the old truism, though, right? You've been around long enough to know that one. What's the?
No.
It's nothing more exciting than the first day of dailies, and there's nothing more depressing than the first assembly.
Originally, the idea was we were going to have to cut together something in 6 weeks as a first pass, and now it looks like 6 weeks is the finished film. I'm going to head back to the pit for a moment.
All right.
I am about to watch for the very first time a version, as Kirk would want you to know, of the film that we've been shooting. And so this will be, like the first time, really.
Unlike other films that I've presented in an assembly, this is really rough.
I had nightmares about this. How things were going to fit together, and shooting things with the wrong light or this or that. So I kind of worried that we didn't get all the shots we needed to, make a good movie.
Claws like Ginsu knives. Maybe we don't need to fight them at all.
Yeah.
Ah, God! What the is by a monster, and you tell me how that... Oh!
If you could stop trying to get people killed, that'd be great.
How long was this?
95.
Wow. I have some issues with the film, but overall, it's pretty good. I'm actually relieved.
So we have a movie, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not Lawrence of Arabia.
What's our biggest problem in your estimation?
You're asking me that already?
Mm-hmm. Because I want to be able to think about it.
Well, I don't know yet. I have to start going through an art. This is the other cut.
I don't want your thoughtful reaction. I want your knee-jerk reaction.
Well, there's plenty to fix. We're just going to start on it.
This is the first Gallagher movie that could be on the verge of being finished, then, right?
Open this up, please. Open the door. What?
Okay, that one didn't work. I didn't, when she read the first time, I didn't really feel her.
We're surrounded by something the likes of which we've never seen before. Some kind of animals. Real fast, volatile predators.
And when she came back, I still didn't really feel it.
We're surrounded by the likes of something which you've never seen before, okay? Some kind of animal. Real fast, volatile predators.
I just didn't think Navi was, right for this part.
There is something out there. Okay? Some kind of animal. Some fast, volatile creature. I don't know. Yeah, well, everybody get ready, because we go back with that truck, we're bringing down weapons.
Do you have any ideas about that? Well, I want to make Navi work. I'm going to try, my best. Because that's what you do anyways when you're cutting and when you're doing all this stuff.
We go back with that truck, we're bringing down weapons.
It's just, you're going to try to cut out a little sooner, maybe cut out even sooner.
Sure.
You try to make the picture work. You try to make, all the actors come off. When people do things that aren't working, you cut them out, and then basically everybody sees all the good stuff. For right now, why don't we just lose it?
How's it going?
Just chugging
I really like your hair like that.
through. Cast me.
We're done with production, and they're in post and editing, and I just stopped by to get some boxes. How are you?
Oh, good.
I'm so happy.
Skirts?
So you're happy with everyone at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
Uh-oh.
For the most part, I think so.
That's why I didn't want to come, because I didn't want to hear who you weren't happy with.
Performance issues aside, I'm not sure that Navi ever wanted to be there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It shocked me because I know she came in twice, and she's fine. She's very nice, but I just got a sense that she's like, what am I doing on this monster?
Oh, really?
I always felt that Navi was a great actress that was wrong for the part. You made Navi happen. I never thought she was right for this movie, and John didn't think she was right for this movie.
I know. All right, well, I'm happy to see you guys.
You too. I'm happy to see you. Don't be a stranger.
I won't. It bothers me a little that Mike had to say that to me because it's like water under the bridge. The movie's done.
Hey, just want to say hello?
Mike told me on Sunday, Matt's, flying in, and Wes is coming over, and Chris is coming over, and they want to see a little bit of the film, and we're kind of tweaking it and getting it, more like, how it'll be in the film.
Matt Damon led the charge to get you this gig.
Just based on their work, Gallagher was probably my first choice.
Are you insane? He's like a wild card.
He's a bit of a wild card, and that's one of the reasons I like him.
You probably haven't seen him since that day.
Well, I didn't even see him that day, hardly. Matt is basically the reason that I'm here. I never would have known it, from the interview. So I kind of saw this, like, the hand just kind of coming over. So, it's a little nerve-wracking, because you don't want to let anyone down. I guess we're just going to try to do as much as we can in the next few days and just have it viewable, at least.
Coming up on Project Greenlight.
Well, they said they want to screen the whole movie on Thursday. Are you going to that?
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Aaron?
Did you tell Live Planet that we're screening on Thursday?
Who was involved in the decision-making to decide to invite Ben to his own special screening and not invite me?
Matt Damon's in town, and we're going to be doing these promos for Project Greenlight.
You're watching Project Greenlight, only on Bravo.
During a break in the promos, Matt came over to the trailer to watch a little bit of Feast.
Great, I'm great. How you doing?
You always have trepidation screening footage that's not ready. It's got temp sound, temp music.
I was extremely excited with the footage. I think John did the best possible job. He was clearly the right man for the job. He really got the tone of it. It's silly, it's fun, it's over the top. He really had a great understanding of the way to make that movie work.
Yes!
I'm worried it's not gory enough.
Mike and Joel, right?
Yeah.
They make all these horror films, one after another, and Mike goes, "Oh, John, I think this is the bloodiest film we've ever made."
That's great, man.
More blood.
Great job. I feel really vindicated and proud because John Gallagher did such a great job, and I knew he would, and so I really kind of put my ass out there for him, so I was happy that he came through.
This kind of goes with the other two Project Greenlight movies, right?
Stolen Summer.
Now that the movie's done shooting, I guess, I don't know, I guess there's only a few months of employment left.
John, would it be all right if some of the gang came down there for the premiere? They want to come.
Well, I mean, Trevor and Margie should come because they bought my clothes for the contest.
Yeah.
Money is always an issue, and right now the money that we've made on this project is going really, really fast.
John, look at some dresses for the premiere.
See, this is more money than I've ever made, but at the end of all this, I'll be broke. I'll be flat broke.
Diane, I think you should get at least 2 new outfits.
I'm hoping that because of this Greenlight project, there will be more interest in John. I think that might help.
Johnny, if I bought you an Armani suit, would you wear it for the premiere?
No, don't do that.
I'd like to.
John right now hasn't tried to interview with agents or think of what's next.
I get calls, I'm probably like a fool not to just jump on it.
He feels his focus is on making as good a movie he can. He secretly has hope that it will do real well.
What would Mom think of all this? What would she say? Think about it.
My mom passed away last year, and I guess she would have been probably the most thrilled about this. My mom would have just told me that she loved me.
Chris was also doing his promo shoot, so we thought it would be a good idea to get some early feedback from him on the film.
Hey, John.
Hey, long time no see. We're here to torture you.
I could tell that John was very nervous. It's always very nerve-wracking to show your film to anybody, and certainly to a filmmaker who's done a lot of work in the genre, it must be kind of scary. The film was great. It was exciting, wonderful coverage, interesting shots. I was very, very impressed by it. It feels like when you get all cut together, I mean, the whole movie is going to be a lot of jumps, a lot of laughs, because it's kind of over the top and fun.
What should we do to keep the studio, I guess, behind it?
I think it's all a matter of early screenings. If they see it working with an audience, they'll get behind it. Or if Bob just looks at it, he'll know. He'll get a sense. You have to make the film for three audiences. One's the audience you eventually hope to get it to. There's the rating board, and there's Bob.
We'll see what we can do with it. Gotta get through the cut first.
The fact that he's made films this long without getting recognition, without making money doing it, means that he has that sort of personal stamina to keep after things for a very long time. I think his world's got to completely change now.
Great job, guys.
Mike and I, we're going to take a look at the movie and just casually check it out, sort of be able to plan better for the rest of post.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah?
It's Mike Leahy.
Mike, I heard a little rumor that you might be watching a first cut of Feast on Thursday evening. Is that correct?
Why? Who wants to know?
Mr. Affleck wants to know. Is it alright if he comes over and watches it?
You know, I was hoping to at least get a first peek at it, but I know his schedule, and if he's available and interested,
okay,
let's get him excited about it. A movie really comes together in post-production, and if you show your hand too soon, it could be complete and utter destruction. But when Ben Affleck called to say, I'm in town only for these days, and I'd really like to see the film, we felt our hands were tied and arranged for him to see it. I'd feel bad if Chris felt left out or you felt left out, but...
No, I'm cool with it.
All right, we'll get back to you.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're pretty early in the editing process, you know. It's a rough cut, and Houston, we've got a problem. Basically, I just want to get the film, you know, to a point where it looks good.
He's coming over on Thursday?
Yeah.
Who the hell invited him? You?
No.
Mike?
Not really. Kind of invited himself.
Well, somebody had to squeal then, huh? Mike, did you squeal?
You called me up and said, hey, I heard there's a screening Thursday.
I'll admit I have a hard time keeping secrets, but I don't think I was the vector for information on this.
Aaron?
Did you tell Live Planet that we're screening on Thursday?
Early this morning, Mark called me and I mentioned that they might be showing this thing sometime soon.
I think we just found Deep Throat.
Now, Chris might be a little bent.
Of course Chris will be bent if Ben's here and he's not. We have to invite Chris.
I had like another week to go, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Or anyone was going to see it.
John hasn't gone through the film in its entirety yet. It's still in a rough state.
I think we may have stirred the pot a little early. The only other person I'd like to drag into that, probably not even Chris Moore, but Nick Phillips, who is going to be leaving Friday and not back till January 5th.
All right.
Since Ben was coming over to screen the film, I thought we should get Nick involved so that if he saw the film, he could at least tell Bob things were coming along nicely and hopefully keep him at bay until the film was a little further along. I can't say I'm comfortable. I'm not really sure what the right political approach is on this.
My only concern is I don't think John and I will have been through the film.
Andrew is hammering Nick for them to see the movie. Part of what I'm attempting here is to sort of keep them at bay. I feel if Nick has seen the movie and can at least say, you know, it's not a disaster, I think Dimensional will be pretty cool to wait. It's a strange game here because if we don't do it right, we could easily put this thing off on the wrong foot and damage its chance to ever be released at all. I know that people, especially Dimension people, want to see the film sooner than later. But the whole future of this film rests on that first look. If people don't like what they see, the entire future of this film could be a disaster. All right, Thursday, 5 o'clock, Nick, Joel, Mike, and Ben.
Is that okay with you? Is that going to freak you out?
I don't mind. I was
very
just,
rough.
you know, I just wanted you to weigh in and have your chance to do what you wanted.
The only scenario that I see possibly happening out of this is I get a call from Chris Board going, Ben Affleck seen the movie? I've been a part of it the whole time, and I don't get to see the movie?
It's terrifying. My head. It's a lot better looking than the real Chris Moore. You know, I'm just trying to do what I gotta do, making movies, trying to be somebody. You know, man, I like Porky's. That's the kind of movies I like. American Pie 3, Porky's, sex movies. I like movies where people have sex. That's gonna come in handy. Project Greenlight is an internet contest. We give amateurs, screenwriters, and directors. We wanted to do a genre film because with genre movies, there's a lot more pressure to make money, and we wanted to show what it's like to make a movie inside the studio system, and that's one of the goals that we had for this year. No, Goldie. Saw your head over there. Did you do a plaster mask for that?
Yes, I did.
Did you find that uncomfortable?
I did, yes.
I hated doing it. Have you seen the movie?
I haven't. I've seen 30 minutes cut together.
How was it?
It's good.
Is it?
It is. Maddie, we showed it to Maddie and Wes when we did our thing last Sunday.
What do they think?
They liked it. I mean, Maddie liked it so much he was, of course, then did his interview going, see, I'm a genius. But it's good. I mean, we should get it. Are you in town for a little while? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, they said they want to screen the whole movie on Thursday. Are you going to go to that?
Oh, really? I had no idea.
The Neo offices or whatever.
Really? When did they call
They
you?
just told me.
Apparently, Gulager was going to let some people see the movie. And first people who wanted to see it was Joel and Mike, which I had always been okay with. I said, you guys watch it, and when you're ready to show it to me, great.
Wait, I got to find out about this because I want to go to that.
I had not explained to them that that wasn't a green light to not include me in screenings if other people were allowed to see the movie.
Get me on the phone with Mike or Joel.
Once you start showing it to other producers or other executive producers, I want to be there. I want to be in the first wave of people who get to see the movie.
No, Aaron, I want to talk to you. I want to know who was involved in the decision-making to decide to invite Ben to his own special screening and not invite me.
Coming up next on Project Greenlight.
I would recommend you put John or Joel and Mike and somebody on the phone right now to explain to me what the you guys were thinking about.
Hey, Mike, we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament. Bob wants to see the movie.
Oh. I want to give you just a piece of advice. Don't ever try to schedule something for Ben or Matt or anybody at Live Planet that doesn't include me.
Joel and Mike invited Ben to see the movie and didn't invite me. It made me think that they actually were trying to exclude me from the process.
That's not the issue, dude. I already know I'm more than welcome to come, and quite honestly, even if John said I wasn't welcome, I would have come anyway.
What exacerbated the problem was that Aaron, had been given strict instructions, don't let anybody else come. And I just said, look, dude, you don't have the power to stop me from seeing the movie.
I would recommend you put John or Joel and Mike and somebody on the phone right now to explain to me what the you guys were thinking about.
Maybe I'm a control freak, power-hungry, crazy dude, but I don't think so.
I don't give a who made that decision, right? You can put me on the phone right now with who made that decision, okay? But that's a bad decision. And you guys should realize that Ben's not going to show up and not call me and say, hey, are you coming to the screening?
I really wanted to see it. I wanted to get a sense of it. I got a lot riding on this movie. And so if they were prepared to show it to Ben, I felt like they should be prepared to show it.
Am I clear now that the next time that any one of these, no matter whether I'm available, no matter I'm out by the pool getting a suntan, no matter what, that if you're going to call Ben or Matt, you also have to call me? Okay. All right, thanks, Aaron. Bye.
What's the big deal? They weren't trying to have me not be there.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I just wanted to show it to you. Because I guess you couldn't be available next week, but I'm not available next week either, so I got kind of pissed, so it was bad.
All right.
So we will do it.
Good work. Get furious.
Yeah.
You're in my chair.
Right now, our goal is to get a good, solid first cut on this movie. So John's really got to stay focused and alert and awake and get through it. I thought we could have this little under-the-radar screening with just Mike and myself and Ben and maybe Nick. Unfortunately, you just can't keep secrets.
Fired up. Look at this.
Us screening this too early could backfire, but we are on an insane schedule. I mean, not that another week of editing would solve all the problems, but it would just be more polished.
So, okay, this is a work in progress. I think you guys all know the music's gonna, like, cut in and out. There's hardly any sound effects. It's gonna be pretty rough. And we haven't actually even completed our first pass through, so.
I think John was very nervous and, as he should be, showing his movie for the first time.
All right.
There's a lot of potential. I think there are definitely areas where the movie's slow. I think there's performance questions. I think there's still scenes that need to be worked. I'll just stay focused on trying to make it a better movie.
A long way to go, but what I think is encouraging is that even in this raw works, and I think that's, a great place to be right now.
When I sat down and watched the movie, my expectations were really low. I assumed that it would be really, really rough and raw, and there'd be big gaping chunks missing and stuff like that. And I'm really surprised and impressed to see a pretty polished cut of the movie.
Johnny did a great job.
I just shot the script.
It was so gratifying to see how talented the guy was and that the talent that was in his reel really came through.
I think you did a great job, and I think you both deserve a lot of credit.
One thing that surprised me is that probably 60% or more of the movie has no music at all, and the tension stays,
it was
and the energy and the pace is there.
I think Bob's gonna really like the movie when he sees it too. I think he's gonna know this is a real movie that is gonna really play.
That two veterans of Greenlight, Ben and Chris, get so excited that this is a Greenlight movie that they can see in the theaters and that they can sell, and they feel like it works. That's important.
At the beginning of the third act, before the monsters break back in, there's an 8-minute section or so that slows down. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you know where it is?
Oh, yeah.
You can remove most of that stuff. It's not like there's anything essential that happens there that you. And there's not a lot of laughs, and what happens is there's not really a lot of scares, not a lot of laughs.
I also think we should talk a little bit about the monsters, because I think there's moments where I don't know that they're scary.
They look a little bit unintimidating. They look a little bit like sleep stacks, you know what I mean?
My first instinct was, we have to reshoot the monsters at the beginning. It just looks like the cheesiest, goofiest monster. But I think if you take the Jaws approach, where you see less of them, it'll work better.
I'd like to have a little bit more of the energy they have at the end. It's terrifying. Like, you see them, their hands are coming through, their faces, It's really, really scary. And if some of that was at the beginning,
it's more, and maybe this is what you meant by it. It's much shorter glimpses, much quicker sort of things, so that your audience is as confused as what the these things are all the way through until. And I thought it was.
As we expected, there are a lot of things that need to be addressed with this cut before it goes to Bob. There's pacing issues, and there are moments where the creatures don't come off scary at all, which is deadly for a horror film. So we have our work cut out for us. This is not a walk in the park at this point.
I can't imagine that script being directed any better than it was. I really can't.
There are problems, there's some gaps, there's some air, there's some stuff that needs to be fixed. That's why Joel kind of was hesitant about showing it to Bob, because he feels like Bob's gonna watch it once and he's gonna form his opinion about how strongly he believes in the movie right then. So you wanna put your best foot forward, so to speak.
I just feel like you were so the right choice for the movie. It's a little moment of self-congratulation for me. It's time for me to bask in my own dreams. Yes, I thought so. I thought Gooligan was the one.
They're really good. You know, when Ben said some things, I think they're pretty positive things, and it made me feel pretty good.
I think when we put it in front of an audience, it'll be telling. Because if it works, it should play really well to an audience.
The big hurdle now is really getting Bob to decide that he likes the movie. That's the whole thing. And then once it's up to Bob, if he makes the decision to support it, then it's just sort of up to the movie gods and the fickle fate of the American movie-going public.
Bye, gentlemen.
Bye.
See you guys soon. Good work.
All right, stop by anytime.
Yeah, better be back tomorrow, just for some food.
Andrew, it's Mike.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good.
So, Mike, we find ourselves in a bit of a predicament. Bob wants you to move immediately.
Our worst fears have happened. Bob has heard through the grapevine that we're screening this movie and he wants to see it now.
Coming up on Project Greenlight.
Everybody is rabid now to see this movie.
Today is a very important day in the life of this film because this is the first chance for the people at the studio to see the movie.
Basically, the future of Feast is coming.
So, can you show us the movie now?
What I'll say, and you know, it's producer speak, Andrew, so it's nothing new, is that we were really hoping to get you a cassette on Monday. The first time you show a movie to the studio head, it's really the most important. So you want it to be in good enough shape and to work the best that it can work, because they're the person that can put it in 2 theaters or 2,000 theaters.
I'm fine with that, and I'm going to urge you to wait. I don't know, I might be calling you back, or Nick might be calling you back.
I understand how that goes, and you know, again, I would love this movie to get a shot.
Well, I think it's going to. That could all change after we see the movie, but...
With you guys kind of being up in the air, there's a little bit of insecurity here that the movie will get dealt with fairly.
All right, so let's get back to you.
Talk to you.
Thanks, man.
Bye. I've realized something in light of this particular Project Feast that I didn't realize before. If you want to watch something or screen something, you can't tell anybody about it. Because everybody is rabid now to see this movie. Bob Weinstein wants to see the movie ASAP.
Bob is not only now very wound up and anxious to see the movie, the film is clearly on his radar now. Suddenly the urgency is ramped up tenfold. We planned to have a feverish editing day today, and Nick calls first thing in the morning and says, Bob, he wants the tape now. No cut, no new footage, no nothing. I want to see this immediately. We have a 7 o'clock deadline with a courier who is going to deliver it to New York.
Yeah, it's just, I would be remiss if I didn't remind us the issue. Go with it. They're not ready just yet to output. Right now, if we started, we would be 10 minutes late.
I think this works. Okay. Do it a little bit in fast motion, maybe?
I'm gonna call the courier and have him push it to 7:30.
Then we cut back the bulk of that. You know, we could drag it out a little bit more, cut to Chris that's still pounding. I think it'd be nicer in the motion.
We don't have too much time. We only got 3 minutes here.
Are we outputting?
James.
Yep.
Is the VCR set up out there to record the VHS?
We are set up.
The audio levels and the videos coming through there?
Sequence for me.
Is it working?
I'm not getting any audio. Things just stop sometimes. If you push it right to the end, you're really playing with fire.
The audio just dropped out. Are you rolling?
Go ahead.
Okay.
When the is this package going out?
7:30.
If
Bob Weinstein gets behind it, it could be a pretty good deal for us. If he doesn't like it, I don't want to think about that.
I made this film because this is the first chance for the people at the studio, at Dimension, marketing people, distribution people to see the movie about it. They don't know what to expect, and their reaction is going to tell us what we're going to do with the movie. So we're going to see this is the first cut of Feast, Project Greenlight movie, as we all know. Most of the script. We'll talk afterwards. A lot of films have screening like that, means people are getting to see it. Or they don't care about who's in it, what the script is, how we got here. They want to be entertained or scared or laugh or whatever. I think the first, because that theater, there's so much pressure, for the movie to perform. And you got a lot of movie-savvy people sitting in a room waiting to pass judgment. One of the brothers is there, Bob or Harvey. Today, unfortunately, Bob.
Terrific results. Really excellent.
Ringing endorsement.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
You sure this is a convenient time to talk?
So Andrew called with a reaction from New York. He had seen it, his marketing people had seen it, and a handful of other staffers over at Dimension New York had seen it. Okay.
Booger.
He's in the editing room.
He owes me a call.
Did you call him?
I did. I don't know if he knows how to use an answering machine.
He may need some work on that.
Hey guys, congratulations. Job well done.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot.
You'll earn your bonuses. I mean, it's a little premature for me to say because Bob and Harvey haven't weighed in yet. They haven't seen the movie. They're seeing it now.
Okay.
So I will have a better sense of that tomorrow after I talk with them. But I would say, based on the screening we had in New York, I think you guys pulled it out.
Awesome.
Well, that's very reassuring.
Kurt comes running down the hall and he's going like, wait, leave what you're doing now. Leave what you're doing. And I go, well, I'm going to go, leave it.
John actually just poked his head in here. I don't know if you need to talk to him.
Hi, John.
Hey.
Congratulations, job well done.
Oh, thank you.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Me too.
I thought John did it with keeping all of the people in action moving. It was funny. It was scary. Overall, I'm very happy. On the negative side, I think the movie's too long. I think there's major pacing issues, which is to be expected. It's the first cut.
I can't be too nice to you, John, because we still have to get through post.
Yeah. Plus, Bob could pull the rug right out from under all of us.
Yeah, I was just saying, is he there still?
Yeah.
I was just saying, we're still waiting for Bob and Harvey to screen the movie and get their reaction, which means everything, but based on the screening we had in New York with the marketing and publicity and distribution guys, there was very positive feedback. Everyone enjoyed the movie.
I did look at John and I just thought, inside, this guy's doing cartwheels. I don't care what he's doing outside. I know what he's feeling. You don't put 46 years of your life into one single ambition and not feel something when it's finally, after all those decades, validated.
We're all happy. This is my happy place.
It made me feel good when Andrew called. He said that the people in New York liked it, and so I mean, you try to do your best, and you hope someone's going to respond. So it's good.
All right, so I'll talk to you guys in the morning.
Sounds good. Do you think you'll have a take on Bob's opinion by then?
I hope so.
All right. We'll catch you tomorrow then.
All right, fellas.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
I'm very anxious to see what Bob thinks. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what Bob and Harvey think. They haven't seen the movie yet, and that's what matters. Bob and Harvey don't like the movie, it's over.
Andrew basically said, we like it, but I have no idea what Bob's going to say. And he said on the phone that they're watching it right now. All right, John, congratulations.
All right.
Good news, dude. That's the studio.
Well, we'll see.
Basically, the future of Feast is coming out of that screening.
Coming up on Project Greenlight.
Bob Weinstein on one, and this is the call. This is the one that really we live or die on. Hello there, Bob. Guys, Bob's asking me to step out, so I really have to ask you to do that.